Hello, I'm Darren. I want to tell you a story about an experience. I went on vacation for 1 week and I was so angry. It was awful. I'll never forget it. My story started 2 weeks before that when my neighbor asked if I wanted to go on a fishing trip. I'd never been fishing before. So we were going to go on this little island. But this was deep sea fishing. So I was ready. I was really excited. I wanted to catch a swordfish, and I had this big fishing pole. So I asked him how much money it would be, and he said it was free because his friend was taking us. So this was awesome. I was so excited. On Friday, about 8 o'clock at night, it was about a 3-hour trip where we would go out, and I was so excited. I was ready for it. So at 7 o'clock, we started eating and drinking, and there was about 7 people total. There were 3 hearing people and 4. No, there were 3 deaf people and 4 hearing people. 2 of them were the captain and his helper. Which was fine. I felt safe. So we all started interacting on the boat, and I was just sitting there. And it was a pretty smooth boat ride. It wasn't anything crazy. And I was excited because I was imagining just seeing swordfish jump out of the water and standing there with my pole. And so we got all the way out there. And I never experienced this before. So I'd only gone about 20 to 30 miles out, but now this was about a 45-minute ride. Just fine. So about a fourth of the way was very relaxed. And I noticed we started to speed up. So about 2-3 hours later, the captain decided that the boat, it was the captain's decision and the trip was free, so I kept my mouth shut. We just hung out and we chatted, and I had grew up with him, so he was like my best friend. So it was about midnight, everything was dark, and the boat stopped. And there were little glowing things out in the water. And I could see the lights sparkling. And it was rocking back and forth, and I liked it. So there were 4 poles coming from the sides of the boat. we were going slow and the boat was rocking back and forth a little bit, but I was excited. So, whatever, it was free, so I just accepted it. And I was getting bored. But some people were catching fish, a red snapper, kingfish, and we could keep it and eat the meat. So I asked my friend if they knew the other 4 people and if we could. He just kept saying, no, it's fine. All right. Whatever. So the first night, nothing happened. I just wanted to catch a swordfish, but I just sat back and we hung out all night for 1 hour. So I asked the captain of the boat, who was sitting in the 3rd row, if it was open to start fishing. You enter the little room, and in the front of the boat was like a bedroom. It was the captain's room. You could walk around, and then a little bit farther was outside. So I was sleeping. I was watching this TV. And I was watching the football game, and I kept watching to see if a fish would bite my hook, and then I would run and grab it, but nothing was happening. So I was tired. It had been 4 hours of rocking back and forth. But we were in the boat. It was like 50 feet. It was big. And it was at least a 20-footer. But there'd been enough time. So I was sitting there asleep. And it was about 12 o'clock on Saturday. And it was hot. So, whatever, I slept. So, I noticed in the back, when you opened the door to the you could see the machines. So there was one red and one green. So I went and looked around. So I started to smell some smoke. And that woke me up. And I asked everybody, guys, it smells like smoke from down below. They were like, oh no, it's hot. The machine's just hot. It should be fine. So I went back to sleep. And the smoke just kept getting bigger. So we opened the door and smoke was blowing out. One of the motors had blown up. So I told you. So they had to turn that off. So now we only had one motor. So the boat was going sideways a little. So 2 hours later, I was sleeping again. And the boat started rocking a lot. So I got up and I opened the door again. And there was a tall piece that broke off. And it was just going everywhere. I woke up and realized that it was the waves. They were just jerking us back and forth. So we didn't get to fish. The captain came down and was telling us we need to wait. So another 2 hours passed and they finally fixed the pole. So we started hitting these huge waves. And that happened for an hour. There was a cold front coming in. It was about 40 miles an hour wind. So the waves were huge. And they were splashing over the edge. So the captain said, all right, no more fishing. We gotta wait another 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour. But I'm not comfortable fishing now. Man, I wish I could find a swordfish. I want a swordfish, so I said, all right, it's fine. We'll finish. So we'll head home. It's about 3 hours past midnight when something turned off and the boat just started going all over. The waves were like 10 to 20 feet and I could see them going all the way above the boat. I could just see the water crashing all over us. He was asleep, but people kept falling over. And the cups were falling off everywhere. And the front of the boat was just full of water. But I was asleep and I just kept rocking back and forth. And it started hurting my neck. It was not comfortable to sleep. So I opened the door and went down to try to fix it. So I slept for another 2 hours and they opened up the door and turned the lights on. So they finally got the machine working again. And the lights were on, the TV was on, the power was on. There was only one machine, and it was fighting the waves.